Hello, family. My name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad, and today let's talk about Flip 7 from the Op Games. It may be a small package, actually the smallest package I've done on this series so far, but there's a ton of stuff packed within this tiny box here. Designed by Eric Olson, Flip 7 is a press your luck style game for 3 to, can you believe, 18 players out of the box. And if you have more than 18 players, this is what they suggest in the rulebook to get a second deck in order to like mix it together. The most I've ever played with this is 3. A friend of mine ended up getting this recently, and I'll go into those stories when I talk about this a little bit later. He ended up playing it with his students at a school, and I don't know how far he got up in like numbers, 4, 5, or 6 players, but he says that the more players you get in, the crazier the games get just because of the different aspects of this game. But like I said, Flip 7 is a press your luck game. It came out in 2024. I believe right now the Op is starting to make different IPs of this. So there's like a Grinch version of it available. So if you can find that, that sounds like a lot of fun. Same fundamental game, just uses images from the Grinch. I am so excited. I was so excited to see this show up on my doorstep. Like, thank you guys out there for sending one my way. So this way I can take a look at it and play for it. It comes in like, I don't see people talking about this very much. This is what it came in. This was the package that it came in. I'm not going to show you the other thing because it has my address and everything, but you got like a standard packaging. It was all in there. I love that they go the extra mile just to really sell it of like, this is what you're getting. This is what you can experience and what you can have a lot of fun with. And let me tell you, this game is amazing. Here in New Jersey, we have a thing called Teachers Convention Weekend. It's the first Thursday and Friday of November where all the kids have off. And my family and I, we went back down south to a beach house that we actually lived in between houses for like 3 months. That's a story in its own right. But we went down there and I decided to bring a bunch of games with me. And not only did my wife and my kids go, but our other friend Steven, he ended up coming as well. And I had this with me and I was dying to play this specifically just to kind of see how it is. And like the game boasts on it, the greatest card game of all time. And I wanted to see how that held up. And let me tell you, this little guy did not disappoint. He did not disappoint at all. Oh my God, this game is so great. It's so affordable and so much fun that I can't wait to show you about it. So why don't we head on down to the table so I can give you an idea about how the game plays, and then I can tell you a little bit of some of the experiences that I had and my overall thoughts as we go on and continue to talk about Flip 7, the greatest card game of all time. All right, so down here is the entire contents of the box. You have a 94 card deck of cards right here. I'll tell you what that's made up of in a moment. You have the rule book itself, which is really nice. We will go over that, but that kind of accordions out to give you an idea how to play. And then you just have some extra cards right here that you can scan in order to show off, what is it? You can go right onto the website for this using the QR code for Flip 7, and you'll be able to purchase the game from there. You can actually get a score. You can print and download. You can download and print, scorecards from the QR code here. You can also use your phone in order to manually keep score, because ultimately the way Flip 7 works is that it is a race to 200 points. Whoever gets 200 points first wins. But before we get that, I do like talking about rule books. In this case, little booklets. So I'm going to open this thing up as far as it can go. Ta-da! There we are. That's fun. Get that a little bit in the center so at least I can zoom in maybe a little bit here and there. But it's pretty easy. It's a very well laid out booklet. You just kind of go left to right and see everything you need. There's not much that you need to know about this game. The biggest things are the 3 power cards that come in it in order to figure out what they do, and like once something happens, what order does it come out in and what things get resolved in what order. And then if you flip around the other side, it just kind of shows you a few additional pieces of information, your modifier cards that come with it as well, what you do at the end of a round, you know, your additional power points whenever you flip 7 cards, and then just like an example of calculating points for a particular round. Plus, again, printable score sheets, videos, scoring web app, and more with the QR code. If you can see it on your screen, by all means, scan it right now and go to it yourself. Otherwise, that's it. This is all the rulebook. Nice, simple, easy, to the point. All right, so let's talk about the game itself. Flip 7 is made up of numerical cards from 0, which I believe that was actually really close up here. I thought I saw the 0 like within the first few cards. Oh, there it is. So 0 all the way up to, it shouldn't be that hard in order to find this one because there's that many, 12. Within the deck, there are 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, 9 9s, 8 8s, etc., 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 all the way down to a single 1 and a single 0. In addition to that, within the deck, you're going to find power-up cards, freeze, flip 3, and second chance. And then you're going to find various modifiers. That is a ×2. That's the best one out of them all. That is a +10. And all of these are used in order to gather a score at the end of a round as things are flipped out. And then, you add your score together, and at the end of a round, you take that number, you add it to whatever your next round is, and next cumulative through the way, and then you get 200 points and you win. Well, really, it's the first person that hits 200 that actually triggers the end of the game. And then once the final round has gone through, whoever has the most points win. But what I'm going to do is we're going to run through a simulated game with 3 players in it because it's easier for me to explain the game, at least for me at least, actually showing to you. So first things first, you're going to deal 1 card out to each one of the players as their starting card. It's going to be face up on the table so everybody can see it. There's no hidden cards or anything to this. We all get to see what everyone has. So player 1 has an 11, and this again would be, even if I was playing with somebody, everyone would see this. Player 2 has a 9, and player 3 has an 11. So now, if you happen to deal out a specialty card from this, if it had a specific effect, it would take place after everything was already dealt out, which is really just the freeze and the deal 3. Those have like additional effects to them. All other ones would just kind of sit there in front of them, applying whatever it is their bonus is. And I'll explain that as we go along. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to player 1, and on a player's turn, they have 2 choices. Hit from the deck or stay with what they have, and that is their points for the round. Remember, points you have are going to carry over from round to round, so you're just going to keep accumulating them as you go out. You're never going to lose points, like get negative points, I should say, but you may think you have a lot of points, and all of a sudden you don't. So we'll say player 1 right here is like, I would like to hit. We're going to flip it down, and they get a 9. Your goal is to try to flip 7 unique numbers in a row. Because if I were to flip this over and it was an 11, player 1 would bust. So they would get 0 points for the round. That's where you have to kind of consider how many cards are in the deck. Yes, you may have a 12 here, but there are 11 more cards within the deck that are a 12. Right now there are, I was going to say 10, but there's an 11 over there. There's 9 other 11s in the deck. So it's actually a pretty decent chance that I could possibly flip an 11 for player 1, busting them out. But they do that, so player 1 has that one. I'm actually going to move this up and down to get a little more room. Player 2 will decide that it's going to flip another card. They get a 4. Player 3 are going to take a chance and flip one as well for a 7. Good old 7-11. And now we go back to player 1. And this is how the rotation of a round works. Everyone gets 1 choice, either hit or stay. And if they are out of the game, then it just skips their turn. And we keep going until everybody has removed themselves from the round. And then we tally scores. So we'll go back to over here to player 1. They've decided to take another hit. They get a 12. Good for them. Player number 2 flips up an 8. We're just seeing a lot of original numbers right there. Let's go 3. 3 got a second chance. What this means is that, if you notice, I love the way these cards are designed. They're so nice. There are little circles of sorts on the top and the bottom. You could just play it. I'll put it in the bottom just to show it whatever, easier that way. You'll have 2 different rows. The main row of your 7 cards that you're going to be collecting, and then like specialty cards where like these powers go, or modifiers. Second chance means that if I were to draw an 11 for them, then instead of them busting, the 11 and the second chance would go away to a discard pile. Thing to note about not only the end of the round, but any cards that are sent to the discard pile, which usually doesn't happen during a play of the game. It only happens once everyone has busted out and they like move the cards. They do not get shuffled back into the pile. So as you're going round to round through this is actually getting smaller and smaller, using up more cards. Now, if you need to draw cards and you don't have any, you go to the discard pile, you shuffle it, and you reset the deck. But I really like the mechanic of this where nothing gets shuffled back in between rounds. You can almost, if you're really good and really like astute at noticing where cards are and everything, you can tell like how many of lower cards were used, like how many 4s were used recently, or how many 12s were used. And you can kind of use that knowledge to determine going forward of your chances of hitting and getting better numbers and ultimately hitting that flip 7. If you flip all 7 numbers, like all 7 unique numbers, you get 15 additional points, which for the amount of games that I've played, really do make a difference. All right, let's continue on right here, just to show you how the rest of this round works. And once you start learning what everything does and how it goes, this goes really, really quick. Like a full game really will only take about 20 minutes. So let's go back over here to player 1. They'll flip out a bonus card. So now that just goes down on the bottom. Again, connected by these like wonderful ways they designed these cards. So cool. The way how everything just kind of lines up together like perfectly. Beautiful, beautiful design actually. This is an additional 10 points added to their main score. Should they not bust, pending they don't bust, they will get whatever score is up here plus 10 points. If they happen to draw the ×2, that only applies to cards within their row, not any of the bonus cards. So we'll move on over here to player 3. They flip a 6. Okay, we're getting pretty good here. He has 4 of 7. Speaking of which, let's go over here. A 1! Perfect! That's great! So he knows that there's no other 1s in there. It's the only 1 in the deck. Moving on over here, flipping again. Oh, we have our next thing. So the flip 3 power, what this does is this forces any opponent or the person that drew it to draw 3 cards. You draw them one at a time, and so long as you don't bust, you just continue to draw. If a card you draw has a special ability, like a second chance, you can actually use it right there. If it has something like a flip 3 or the freeze cards, which we haven't seen yet, those will activate after all 3 cards have been flipped, should they not bust. Now, player 1 over here sees that they have quite a lot of points, and player 2 is about to make a flip 7. So they're actually going to force them to take 3 cards. They have to flip 3 and keep going until they bust or not. They may not bust, in which case they've gotten really lucky. So first card they get is a 12. Second card they get is a 10. Oh my goodness, might have been a bad idea. Oh, it's another 12. Oh, and that's it. So there you go. They have now made a pair of numbers within their set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they were 1 off. That's so close. But that ultimately busts them out of the round. So they would receive 0 points. But we're not done yet. Player 3 is still in the game. So now they're going to go. They're going to flip an 11, which is a second chance. They're going to do that. They are now still in the game. Player 1 is like, you know what? After all of that and seeing everybody go, I am going to stay. I am not going to push my luck any longer. I like my score. I think this is good. Player 3 over here is like, oh, I could do one more. I could do one. What's the chances of another 11 coming out, right? Could be a 12. Oh, it's an 11. Look at that. Ah, boom, boom, boom. And that is that. So that means out of this round, round 1, player 1 is the only one to score points. 10, 20, 30, 40, 42 points for them. And again, as I mentioned before, all of this would then go into a discard pile to the side, and you would continue pulling from the main deck until this has run out. Once this is run out, you would take the discard pile and you would shuffle back in. Player 1 now has 42 points, 0 and 0, and then we would just do another round, but it would go on to the next the next player. So player 2 would start. So we could go 1, 2, 3. And now because player 2 was the one that started, they're going to get their first card. So they chose to hit with a 2. We got 10. We'll hit over here for a 3. Go over here for 7. I just want to see what this turns out now that I'm flipping them. 11. We got over here. Oh my goodness. Wow, there's a lot of red cards you got. Poor player. for 3. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. We can go, at least we can go a few. Oh, nope. They are done. And that's 22 points. They're still not anywhere near it. We'll take one more, and they have busted us out too. This is also something I've seen quite often, of a round of like 0 points. Nobody getting anything. Playing this with our friend Steven was great. He was completely into it. Every single hand that came around, didn't matter if he busted, didn't matter if he scored crazy. He loved every moment of it, as did I, because once you finally hit that flip 7, you just feel so amazing. Like, we played this game so much over like 3 nights. Like, I don't even know how many Ultimate games we played, but I only flipped 7 twice. First time I flipped it, I actually had a second chance card available. This way, if I missed anything up or whatever, I'd be able to, keep in the game. But if you go through the whole thing, flip 7, you don't keep your second chances. Those automatically go back to discard pile. And then on the next one, I was given a flip 3. So almost what I just showed you guys right here. And then that flip 3 gave me all the cards I needed. And then I was able to finish off the run. I believe with a 6 in that one was the last card I needed to make a flip 7. And then just to show off a few of the other modifiers, like I said, there's a ×2 in there that will apply only to your main number line. And then you have 2, 4, 6, and 8 additional points that you can add on, plus a 10. So that's a lot of point modifiers. And then you have the freeze card. The moment you play a freeze card, which is an instant action as it says on the card, you have to do that. You stop whoever it is that's playing immediately. If you have a freeze card in your opening hand, you could freeze somebody at 0 points and they can't do anything for the rest of the round, or whatever points they have in front of them. So if they flip the 12 and you freeze them, they'll get those 12 points, but they can't make any more flips for the rest of that round. I'll be honest with you, I've seen more people gain points from the freeze card than anything else. We had a round once where we just pressed our luck every single time, no matter what. And the only ones that scored points were those that had the freeze card. So these are powerful things. Keep in mind also, you have to play it on someone, including yourself. With the freeze card, if everybody else is out of the game, you have just frozen yourself. Also, with the second chance card, you can only ever have 1 at a time. If you have a second chance card and you happen to flip a second chance card, then you have to give it to another player. If there are no other players in, then to the discard pile this goes, and that is gone. And that's pretty much it. You're just going to be going from round to round doing that exact same thing, taking the top card from this, flipping it down to everybody that plays, and then one at a time they take turns taking hits or staying in order to get the most points possible, or busting out completely and getting no points for the round. These can go to like 17 to 20 rounds. I have played games with this where we've gone through the entire deck and then maybe about like halfway through it, continuing on for an entire game. But man, it's just so much fun. There's so much to this, and the game is so well balanced because you don't know what cards are going to come out, obviously, because it's all shuffled together. But it's still like a mind game to it, where you're seeing 12s come out. So many 12s have come out. Well, there can't be that many 12s left. If I flip myself a 12, I get 12 points. That's got to be awesome. Or you're like, okay, I'd flip myself a 4. There's only 3 more 4s in the deck. What are my chances of finding a 4, on my next one? Just so many things to consider, and so many different strategies that you could do in order to figure out if you want to keep going or not, that it just makes every single hand unique, fun, and an engaging experience for everybody. I really want to play this at a massive player count, like 10 people, and just see how that goes, because my goodness, the amount of cards being thrown out and everyone playing cards on each other and flip 3s and extra points and just numbers over there. Yes, you can count how many cards are on the table, but you still never know what you're going to flip as you flip 7. I just wanted to lay one of each card out for you guys so you can see all the different like color patterns to it and everything. And I know I call them like beautiful design cards and everything because I love the way that it all like lines up so well together to make these like continuous colored images and everything. Some people may say that the art is a little bit bland, is too simple, and it's just palette swaps for each one of the cards. And I think, I think that's great though. I think that's perfect. That adds a great charm to the game to make it easy to understand which one of these cards are which just from a quick glance. Knowing where certain cards go, creating the perfect circles up there for cards that go above your main number line. And then of course your numbers actually connecting together. And the 0 card, I'm actually really surprised that the 0 card doesn't have any special functions to it. It is very much a rainbow card because it has all the different colors on it. It is the only one of itself within the deck, but going through the rule book, it doesn't mention anything about if 0 does anything itself other than just another card on your field. Now, it kind of works the same as the 1, where you know that if you have it in your number sequence, you're not going to draw another one of those. So it's like a sort of a safety point to it, but it doesn't give any points. I do see people already doing various variants of their own homebrewing and everything where the 0 card is a wild or it's like an instant loss or something along that way. It's like, the one wonderful thing about board games is that you can kind of homebrew stuff as you wish to make it more exciting for your game group. If you want a game that's more tense where more people 0 out, by all means do that. If you want a game where more people flip 7, then make the 0 a full wild of being any card that you want. And then that's just an additional number you get. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of different ways that this game can continue to grow, even though at its core, it's really well balanced in my opinion. It's everything you flip has a great chance of coming out. I've busted on 4s, I've busted on 3s, but of course you're going to get more busts on 12, 11, and 10, and 9. Actually, 9's a tricky one. You see many busts on 9s, especially if you happen to have any of these multipliers up there. If you have like 3 multipliers and you bust, you just are like, no, my points are gone. But I just love this game so much. And going forward, because this is a nice small box, this is probably going to be coming with me to every vacation, every family function, every small hangout that I do. If somebody comes over, this may end up on the table, and I want to try to play Flip 7 with as many people as possible. Our buddy Steven bought this game while we were sitting at the table. He was very excited to get home to get it. So I'm going to be spreading the word about this game as much as I can, because I think this should be a staple in people's collections of card games, right there next to the big ones like Uno and Phase 10 and things like that. Big future for Flip 7. Big future. But now I'd like to hear what you think about Flip 7. Did you hear about this game before? Is this something that you're curious about? Maybe you were walking around Target or Walmart or something like that, and you happen to see this sitting on the shelf, and you're thinking to yourself, I think I've heard of that game before, but where? It showed up a lot within the board gaming community within the past year. I think it won a whole bunch of awards and everything at Spiel last year and various other places. It's really is a great game, and I believe it's like $8 on Amazon or something like that. I have links down in the description below. You can go ahead and check out the Ops website for it. I'll have a link to even any other information they have, like their rule books and things like that. I'll have an affiliate link down there for Amazon if you want to check that out. Use that in order to pick up a copy of yourself. If I can even find the Grinch version, I'll throw that on there too, just because. For right now, I'm happy with Flip 7 just being its own thing. I do see them incorporating other IPs into this going in the future. And just like any other deck of cards, it's really just changing the number cards to represent whatever the thing is. Because I know with the Grinch, Cindy Lou is on one of them, Max is on one, the Grinch is on a bunch of them as well. And then just like different images on them. Fundamentally, as I said before, the game is exactly the same. It's just another fun thing to look at. And the op in what they do is just, put IPs on things, and sell them out that way. If you ever make a Godzilla version of this, please let me know. I would want that you have no idea. Not really quite sure where to put this. Usually I have a bigger box in front of me and it kind of sits a little bit better, but it's all right. It's pretty good on camera right there. There we go. We'll go with this. Thank you guys once again for joining me as we talked about Flip 7. Once again, let me know of all your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below, what you think of this game. Do you have this game, or was this something you were thinking about picking up and maybe, start to sway one way or another? Holiday season's coming up, These make great gifts, great stocking stuffers, everyone. It's a small one, shove it right in there. But yeah, would love to hear your opinions about it as well, because as you can tell, my opinion is this is a fantastic game, and I will be playing this as much as possible, especially if there's going to be more versions of it. Maybe I'll find a way to show you guys this on the channel one day. So in order not to miss that or any other fun thing I either talk about or show you or play through or anything like that, be sure you are subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad. If you wish to support the channel even further, there's a ton of ways to do that down in the description section below. I mentioned the affiliate links, just going on over to the main websites, checking it out, all kinds of things like that. But regardless of all that, your view, your like, sharing this video, commenting down below, subscribing to the channel, and of course, supporting Flip 7, because I love this game so much, is a great way. Well, supporting Flip 7 helps the game, but everything else helps Home Gamer Dad grow and enables me to do more videos like this for you, talk about more games, and of course, share with you my opinions, my experiences, and my overall thoughts of all these great, great games that we are getting nowadays. Thank you all again. You've been absolutely amazing. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, flipping 7 together. The next time I play, I plan on getting more 7 in a row, but you really can never tell based on the luck of the cards. Only 2. Steven got like 6. And my wife, unfortunately, I think got like 1 the entire time. So you never can tell. Just got to keep playing and see what you get. Thank you guys again, and I'll catch you all later.